Hello and welcome to all. In 30 years, The Simpsons have made jokes, often ultra crazy, and most of them, if you think it through, they become prophetic. The teams of Matt Groening, creator of the cartoon, have proven to be good at predicting the future, from rigged voting machines, the economic collapse of Greece, the purchase of 21st Century Fox by Disney, to coronavirus. The Simpsons are true psychics. You doubt it? Then stay with us until the end to find out the 10 times The Simpsons have predicted the future. In 2015, if you recall, things weren't looking very good for Greece and many people thought that the country would soon be out of the Eurozone. The financial crisis was indeed causing considerable tension at that time. And as astonishing as it may seem, The Simpsons had predicted everything 2 years in advance. Yes, this wasn't very strange to those who saw episode 10 of season 23 of The Simpsons' politically inept episode. In that episode, which first aired in January 2013, Homer Simpson appeared on a Fox News television set. In the news banner that scrolls across the bottom of the screen we can read that Europe puts Greece on sale on eBay. This statement is as funny as it is surprising. Especially since at the time we were already talking about Grexit. We must believe that The Simpsons were right on this one. After all, the Greek financial crisis could not escape their oracle's vision. In 2003, the famous German-born magician Roy Horn experienced a totally shocking event. During his show in Las Vegas, USA, Roy was attacked by his own tiger. Following this misadventure, Siegfried, the other members' duo, took to the stage a few moments later to cancel the end of the show. Since then, Roy has never been able to go back on stage and had to sign the end of his professional career. Nevertheless, this tragic event was known long before it happened. At least by Simpson fans. The reason? Well, the cartoon had in 1993, 10 years earlier, broadcast episode 10 of season 5 in which we can see, two tiger trainers visibly German, Gunther and Ernst are attacked by a tiger in the middle of the show. After that the performance came to an abrupt end. Surprising, isn't it? Moreover, in both situations it was white tigers. We can't deny that the similarities are impressive. In 2013, a scandal erupted in Europe when equine DNA was discovered in several Findus products supposedly containing beef, such as lasagna or spaghetti. After that, the supplier Spanghero was forced to withdraw from the market. This event went around the world. Some time later, an episode of The Simpsons was shared by thousands of internet users. And with good reason. In this sequence we can see Doris, the canteen girl from Springfield School, using the same method of deception. We see her preparing a meal and rummaging, without anyone knowing, in a metal canister containing pieces of horse meat, when it was supposed to serve beef. But did Matt Groening, the series creator, want to come back in a squeaky way to the scandal that animated Europe by devoting a special episode to it? No, he didn't. The scene actually dates back to 1994, from episode 19 of season 5. Yes, the directors of The Simpsons are obviously able to anticipate a lot of events. Nevertheless, the creator of the series admits that each time it's just a coincidence. It's now almost an evidence, the Simpson family has a power of divination. At least, that's what we would be led to believe when we notice certain similarities between cartoon and reality. And the most striking example is certainly that of episode 5 of season 10, entitled When Homer Makes His Movie. We can see in an excerpt a very particular sign appearing in the set from this episode. It indicates that 21st Century Fox is a division of the Walt Disney Company. A premonitory joke that has become a reality, since 20 years after the broadcast of this episode, Disney has bought the majority of Fox's assets. Amazing, isn't it? But this prediction takes on a completely different meaning when we know that The Simpsons are among the franchises that Disney got its hands on with its takeover. Before continuing this video, here is the question of the day. In the show, what is the name of the Simpsons dog? Is it? Option A. Santa's Little Helper. Option B. Droopy. Option C. Bidule. Write the right answer in the comments and we'll see at the end of the video if you were right. In an episode of The Simpsons aired in 2008, we can perceive the father of the America's laziest family trying to fulfill his duty as a citizen by voting in a machine. But that was without counting on a stubborn voting machine. As he pressed the Barack Obama button with his big yellow finger, the machine told him that he had just given his vote to Republican candidate John McCain. This is a nightmare for any citizen. Unsurprisingly, in 2012, this happened in reality. Indeed, a voting machine in Pennsylvania was removed when people found that all the votes for Barack Obama were changed for Mitt Romney. Coincidence? Not at all. In fact, The Simpsons creator probably wanted to expose the flaws in voting machines. However, the two situations are surprisingly similar. It doesn't take Edward Snowden to unveil the taste of government agencies to listen to the private conversations of citizens from the whole world. Indeed, in the 2007 Simpson film, Lisa could already be seen alerting her mother that the conversation might be being listened to by the government. But her mother did not believe her at all. That's when you could see a scene in which the NSA, a government agency, was present. Inside were thousands of employees sitting in offices spying on every phone conversation in the country. This is surprising, because in 2013 this story of telephone espionage caused a worldwide scandal after Snowden revealed details of several mass surveillance programs. It was the biggest leak in American history. However, long before the computer scientists' revelations, The Simpsons had guessed in advance and accurately the existence of these programs. It's undeniable, this episode is absolutely stunning. The corruption scandals that shook some of FIFA's influential members in 2015 had not escaped the notice of the creators of the Simpson family. Matt Groening and his band of merry men even anticipated the coup. Indeed, in the 16th episode of season 25, entitled "You Don't Have to Live Like a Referee," Homer was recruited by the famous organization to be a referee at the 2014 World Cup. To do so, the family received the vice president of the International Football Federation in their living room. But this interview will be interrupted because the man is arrested by the police for corruption. Homer, he will resist temptation to carry out his mission. A few months after this episode aired, this event happened in real life. Thus, several top FIFA officials were arrested on suspicion of corruption, mainly concerning the conditions of attribution of several World Cups as well as marketing contracts. Incredible coincidence, isn't it? Moreover, on the occasion of the same episode, the series had also predicted Germany's victory in the final. The coronavirus is spreading more and more around the world, and currently 4 billion people are confined to their homes to avoid further contamination. The standards of television and radio stations are being overrun by hundreds of worried people who are wondering if, among other things, their last package from China could give them the terrible bonus. Who could have predicted this? No one, absolutely no one. Although, wait. Simpson fans tell us that, once again, the mythical cartoon has predicted everything. Indeed, in episode 21 of season 4, released in 1993, we see a Japanese worker telling his coworker that he has the flu and that his supervisor shouldn't know. Then he coughs into a cardboard box that is meant for Homer Simpson. Arriving in Springfield, the town where the story of The Simpsons takes place, the package is received by Homer. But when it was opened, a virus infected him. And that's not all, since Principal Skinner, along with Patty and Selma, also received similar packages and were all infected. Eventually, the mysterious disease will infect the entire city. And you can even see that all the streets of Springfield have become deserted. So, you will have noticed, this episode is strangely similar to what is happening in the world today. Especially since nowadays, many people are worried and no longer order from AliExpress or Wish, for fear of catching the virus when receiving the package. Thus, this sequence, broadcast 27 years earlier, is really striking. The only detail that is different from real life is that the virus didn't come from Japan, but from China, as is the case with The Simpsons. Nevertheless, despite this detail, it is undeniable that the Simpson family proved in this episode, once again, that they have an inexplicable talent for predicting the future. The Simpsons have a reputation for having a sunken nose after succeeding in predicting the future several times. And it seems also that they predicted the arrival of Greta Thunberg. Indeed, when this young activist gave her speech at the UN, several people started comparing her tone to Lisa's, and you can't blame them. Some even go further and say that Greta is Lisa's real version. And that's not such an exaggeration. The proof? Well, in episode 17 of season 20, which aired in 2009, Lisa also gave a fiery speech about global warming. And that's not the only similarity between the Swedish activist and the show's character. Like Greta, Lisa is very young, sensitive, intelligent, incorruptible, vegetarian and activist. They both live surrounded by adult men unable to understand them, and that enrages them. Also, they both support many causes and are very active in the defense of the environment. Moreover, in the episode, Lisa Goes to Washington, Bart's sister went to the capital of American politics to oppose a congressman after learning that the Springfield forest was going to be razed. Admittedly, the similarities between the girls are troubling. Now it's your turn to tell us in commentary, which of these predictions surprised you the most? If not, the name of the Simpsons dog is Santa's Little Helper. I hope many of you found the right answer.